Hello, I'm Philippa Soul from Philippa Soul Estate Agents, and I have prepared a little PowerPoint presentation with regards to the market because it's really uncertain times at the moment, and lots of people are asking me pretty much on a daily basis, several times a day, what is happening in the market and what do we think is going to happen and what are we seeing. So I thought it'd be really helpful to just do a little overview about this. I have done, as I say, a PowerPoint presentation if you're more inclined to consider facts and figures, because those are backed up with some right move statistics. But if you'd just like to listen, here's an overview of what we're finding. I'm very much likening the property market to a game of chess at the moment. Everybody wants to play, but nobody is going to make the next move, and everyone's waiting for somebody else to go first. So yeah, it's really frustrating. We had a quiet July and August. We always thought that July and August would be quiet. That's historically how things go. Lots of people went away for the first time in a number of years. Come September, that's normally a really busy time. Children go back to school, people get their heads down and they list their properties for sale. But this just didn't happen this year, and it didn't happen for a number of reasons. Unfortunately, changes in the monarchy, interest rates going up significantly, and just the cost of living in general. So I think all of those things combined made everybody sort of stop to try and ascertain what was going to happen. So what are we seeing? So it's really interesting. So the number of properties coming to market has actually increased by 13% for the month of October. Now that's really good news in one sense, because the thing that's driven the property market, one of the major factors, has been the lack of supply. So people just haven't seen things come into the market. That's caused a logjam. So hopefully with more properties coming to the market, that will underpin prices, stabilise the market, and activity will increase. But in line with that, the demand has gone down by 20% for the month of October. So 20% versus this time last year. So increase in house stock, decrease in buyers. So this, it's no surprise that the market is therefore levelling out. But what we do have to remember is that demand is still 4% higher than it was in 2019. And when I talk about 2019, that was our last normal market. That's the one thing that we can relate to, where things were level, property market was moving at a normal rate, and that was obviously pre-COVID. So given the change recently in the property market and the change in the economy, it comes as no surprise that some people are just sitting on their hands and they're just waiting to see what is going to happen. And you will get a number of cautious people out there that are just prepared to sit back and watch. But I think one also needs to be mindful that if there is a big correction in house prices, and personally I think down here we're very resilient, that could well be counteracted by higher interest rates. So it may just be a question that you're best to just bite the bullet. And I think that's particularly relevant if you're looking at a long-term plan, so a plan of 5 to 10 years. And if you look historically at the property market, it's always had its ups and lows. In this area, we haven't seen the highs, we haven't seen the lows. So I do think that we're pretty resilient here, and prime markets are definitely being underpinned. And that's for a number of reasons. The first one being that those with bigger budgets tend to be less affected by the rising interest rates and also higher monthly payments. Not everybody, but it's definitely a factor that if you've got a smaller mortgage, you're not going to be affected quite so much with the outside wider economic effects. The second is that if you're buying and selling, it's all relative. So if your value goes down, the property that you're buying is going to go down, and vice versa. So buying and selling, as long as you're transacting in the same market, you're going to see the benefits one way or the other. If you're not requiring finance and you don't have a property to sell, then I'd probably set with you in waiting and seeing what's happening and potentially taking advantage if there is a short dip at the beginning of next year. I think we all agree that the price rises and volume and activity that we've seen in the last 18 months, particularly here in Dorset, is unsustainable. I don't think anybody expected it to carry on. And we were constantly being asked, when is the bubble going to burst? So it isn't a surprise that things have quietened down. It's just that has coincided with coming into the Christmas month. So I think we just need to be really mindful about what would normally be seasonal changes and a slow in transactions versus the other economical factors that are affecting the property market as well. So I'm not surprised at all that some of my current clients that are selling with me are not panicking, but just seeking reassurance and advice on what to do. And buyers as well are sort of, trying to take me to one side and say, what would you do if it was me? And I refer you back to my earlier comments that, if it's a longer term plan, then I would just get on and bite the bullet. And I would take advantage of there being a little bit more stock coming to the market. So a question that's very much on everyone's lips at the moment is, should I do something now or should I wait to the new year to come to the market? If I'm on the market, do you think I should put my house on hold for winter and Christmas and put it back on in January? And from my point of view, and not just because I'm an agent looking to sell property, I'm very much of the mind that you've got to be visible if you want to sell. Don't withdraw your property from the market. And there are several reasons for this. One main reason is that people have a lot more time at this time of year. So if you run your own business or you're busy with children and families and you can't travel down to the area, Christmas is a perfect time to be able to do that. There's less competition now as well. So a lot of other agents will be taking properties off the market. Other people will be waiting to come on till January. So take advantage of the lack of stock, and you want to be ahead of the crowd. You don't want to come to the market at the same time everybody does. And if you consider that we've been quite quiet for this last quarter, that desire for people to want to move hasn't gone away. So we could well see an increase of a significant number of instructions coming to the market in January. So be ahead of the crowd, jump the queue and stay visible. The other interesting fact is that Boxing Day is the busiest day of the year for people looking on Rightmove. So if you're not on the market and you're not visible, people can't see you. So, don't be worried about people seeing photographs with Christmas trees. We can take them before or after the event, refresh photographs in January. But if you want to stand a chance of selling, my view is that you have to be out there. You have to be in it to win it. And you want to take advantage as well of this demand. Demand is still up 20% on the pre-5-year pandemic numbers. So there's still a lot of people wanting to move. And I very much feel as well that if you're a family looking to move or you're looking to relocate, you're still going to want to make that move irrelevant of where house prices sit. You might be a little bit more considered about when you make that move, but the desire to move isn't going to go away. My other word of advice, like always, is to really consider where you're pitching your property for sale. If you're coming to the market, no doubt you'll have had an array of valuations, because it's very hard for us to ascertain where the market's going to go and whether or not demand is going to come back somewhere near where it was last year. So for the last year, we've all been seriously surprised about the prices that have been achieved, and now we're trying to readjust things. And if you're on the market currently and you have got some flexibility in the asking price, my advice would be to tweak it now. Make any adjustments this side of Christmas, because again, with a load of new stock coming to the market, as it generally does in the new year, you want to be priced sensibly. You don't want to be in a situation where you're addressing the price alongside new instructions coming on, or if the market does soften slightly, you're chasing the market down and you're one step behind. So to summarise, yes, it's tough times out there at the moment. Yes, the market's considerably changed in the last 12 months, but please remember that in this area, we've always seen the prime markets flourish. We're very, very resilient down here. There is only so many locations that you can be this close to the water and this close to London. So it will continue to hold its desire for out of town buyers and for those looking to move within the market. If you are selling at the moment, just be mindful that we can't wave a magic wand. We can't force people to view your home. And it's really important that you recall or remember that the type of people that are going to be looking at this time of year are really serious. So my message is, expect quality, not quantity. And please remember that the team and I are here working really hard on your behalf. We're here 6 days a week. We're going to be here between Christmas and New Year. Even if it's quieter times, we're using those opportunities and that quieter time to really reconnect with our applicants. So if you're able to sell, trust me, we're the people that are going to be able to do it for you. And for my loyal clients, I just really want to say thank you for riding the storm with us. We will get there, we will move you. And if you're considering coming to the market with us, then just get some advice from me. I'll advise you as to when the best time is. You might want to consider a whisper listing in the first instance while you ascertain where the market is, but we are here to help. So thank you very much from myself and the team.